What's up, YouTube? This is Biblical Truther. I did a video yesterday about this guy claiming to be the Messiah, and I did a little more digging after I did that video, and I found an interview he did, and the blasphemy that this man is committing against our Lord Jesus Christ is just unreal. If anybody's done any research into this guy, his crest kind of looks like two doves flying behind each other, but if you turn it up right, it's the double cross that the occult uses. He talks about so much stuff, but more leaning towards the New Age side. He's from the UK, which is a United Kingdom. And I'm gonna put a video link in the description where most of this information came from, so you could watch it for yourself. It gets pretty boring about an hour and a half in, but just in the first 15 to 20 minutes, man, I can take a whole legal pad worth of notes. He talks about a Merlin Falcon, like a magic phoenix. He portrays himself to be a normal man, but yet he contends he owns the world now, because he's the true heir, the lineage of Christ through Queen Bolin or something, some weird name, I don't know. You should go watch this video. It's just blasphemous at its finest. But he talks about having animals who live underground that tend to follow him around. Like, first thing I thought of was hybrids from the pit. And then he talks about QAnon, and one of the guys that's interviewing him says, the white hats and QAnon and Trump are all backing this guy, which if you go to that theking.uk website, and it pretty much lists everything, all the presidents of around the world that's supporting this man, if it turns out to be true. He talks about Brexit, British royal exit, because he's taken over the Queen's position, and he talks at great lengths, making fun of her several occasions. Prince Charles, the same thing, making sure we all know that they're illegitimate, that he is the line of Christ, the Holy Grail, if you will. And then he talks about Trump. He says he's the one that put Trump in power, and he don't like saying that because Trump gets mad. But he mentions that Trump is Kronos, and he too is Kronos. And if anybody knows who Kronos is, that's one of the Greek gods that ate his own children, I believe. But and then he says that the corona is the crowning of him. He talks about a couple movies, one being Logan, saying that it was all about him. I forget the other movie that he mentioned. You'll have to go watch the video. But when he started talking about QAnon, and they were talking about how he's putting his crest on the gate at Buckingham Palace, and Buckingham Palace is really empty. The Queen has really disappeared. He talks about the Pope being on house arrest, relinquishing his title as the Vicar of Christ because this guy says he's the Christ, that Jesus Christ just had the title of Christ, that he was not divine whatsoever, which is blasphemous in and of itself. He talks about holding the patents for free energy, when if anybody's done a whole bunch of research and dived down many of these rabbit holes that we've been presented, there's been a lot of people that's gotten killed or just straight up disappeared for trying to bring forth these technologies, but yet this man holds patents on them. It's the first one that I've seen publicly, I guess, make it this far to hold a patent on free energy. That's just crazy to me. So it seems to me like he's gonna be the one to fulfill all this, but I'm not saying he is, I'm not saying he ain't. That's why I had a question mark in my previous video. But how many of you guys has seen, and I'll put a link in the description as well, about the screams that people were hearing? I believe it was in Texas. They were saying these screams were coming from the sky. And in Revelation 12, it talks about the great war in heaven when Michael and his angels fights against the dragon, and the dragon and his angels fight back, but they weren't strong enough, and they were cast out of heaven. So when I heard this screaming on this video, that was the first thing I thought about. Is this the great war in heaven? Are they really being cast out? Are those angels that we're hearing fallen from heaven? Or is it just a prequel, let's say social engineering by the elites to play these noises, these screams for when the real war in heaven starts? And because I have no doubt we're going to hear these things falling from heaven. In the Truth community, there was a big thing back in September of 2017 about the great sign in heaven, which correlates with Revelation 12 and the great war in heaven. And that was September 23rd, 2017, and it talks about 1,260 days the woman hides in the wilderness where she has a place prepared for her by God. So that's 3.5 years from the great sign in heaven, whether manufactured or real. That would put 1,260 days would be March 21st, 2021, which is, if any of you are experiencing time screaming by, that would be just around the corner, because like just yesterday it was January when all this corona crap started, and here we are in June already. So time has definitely sped up. But I just thought that was pretty interesting about these screens. Has it begun? Or the 1,260 days in 2021 when Satan is cast down, is this man, this false Messiah, which he also talks about his 1,000-year reign, mentioned in Revelation that the true Jesus Christ rules and reigns for 1,000 years. But this guy is talking about setting up his kingdom now for his 1,000-year reign. So it would be kind of perfect timing for him to be subtly put out there. And the faster that 2021 date approaches, the more coverage he's gonna get, to when the Archangel Michael whoops that butt, throws Satan out of heaven, and bam, he's got an occult following thinking he's the Messiah, and then here comes Satan to have a body to dwell in. So that marking the 3.5 years, would that be when the real tribulation starts? Is this the 3.5 years of peace, or is it going to start when he reveals himself? Because he's definitely out there saying he's the Messiah. There's been many false Christs. I think Waco was one of them. I forget that guy's name. And they had the other cult down in Mexico who poisoned themselves. That guy claimed to be Jesus Christ. There's, been several. But this guy has went through a great bit of trouble to try and prove his lineage. Logic Before Authority YouTube channel has done a pretty good job of covering all this. So if you don't know his channel, go check him out. But yeah, I just wanted to put that out there, man. You know, the great sign in heaven was pretty big in the Truther community for a while. You know, some say it was manufactured, some say it was real. But most definitely that 1260 days, if these secret societies are playing out the book of Revelations as they claim, and just say they did manufacture it, 1260 days Satan is cast down to the earth. So time's running out, whether they playing it or not, you know, playing it out or not. These things are happening. And you know, I just want you guys to realize how short time is. You know, the Lord told me a few weeks ago that things were fixing to get bad. And this was before the George Floyd thing and the riots. About 2 weeks prior to all that starting. So just be ready. Keep your head on the swivel and keep searching these things out, because these people are up to something. So just be vigilant. Be ready. Our King Jesus Christ is coming, not Joseph George Hallett. And I apologize for my mispronunciating his name in my other video, but I'm only human, you know. Thank you guys.